Hi everyone, just wanted to review our some of our week 6 info and then review a little discussion of the rest of the term for you. So in week 6 we talked a bit about any kickback, false claims, Stark, lots of different things with regard to that, just to kind of give you a focus on that side of compliance and in the legal side of things. We also talked about what was in the textbook, the criminal aspects of that impact us in healthcare law, as well as things like antitrust, monopolies, those types of things. So that was all as part of our reading and was included in the quiz and whatnot for last week. This coming week, just click the same week again. There we go. So this coming week, we're kind of going back to that realm of ethics and looking at a few different ethics elements. Specifically, it's kind of a combination of the notion of professional responsibility and the ethics that go along with that, as well as some of the legal side of that as well. So this video is one video that will help to inform just some background on that topic. And then we also have an EMTALA discussion board. So EMTALA, Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act. And we have some materials. Sorry, I keep flipping back and forth. We have some materials on EMTALA. I believe there's also some information in the textbook. But we have these 3 cases, and you can comment on those in the discussions. The big thing for this week is your final project that is due this week. You can do either a paper on an ethical issue, so something in particular that you've seen during our work throughout the term, or just a topic that you find interesting, or you can specifically write a case brief. So if you choose to write a case brief, or if you choose a case, a legal case, then you're going to write a case brief. I have included some information about how to do that. It's really just a summary of the case with some specific details. So you would want to do that. If you choose to go the ethical issue route, I want you to describe the issue in detail, but then I want you to provide arguments for both sides of the issue. So much like we did with the case of the Vanderbilt nurse, and some folks looked at the pros, some folks looked at the cons. When you did, it was a group assignment, so everyone kind of split that up. In this case, I want you to kind of do that review. So look at the issue, kind of choose, probably initially go with your own personal thoughts and feelings on the topic, and then kind of provide arguments to the devil's advocate side of that. Because as healthcare administrators, we need to not just follow our own personal notion, but have a good understanding of people that are different than us and have different views than us. So that is for this week. I will take a walk over here to week 8 as well. So for those of you that are traditional, and I don't remember how many we have in this class, but for those of you that are traditional on-ground, on-campus students that are taking this online, we do have a week 8. I'm sure that's, if you didn't know that, that may be disappointing to you. For those of you in the class that are online students, that is our spring break for our traditional on-campus students. So you are, feel free to work ahead. We have a discussion and a quiz, and we'll have an ed puzzle as well. Actually, we may or may not have an ed puzzle, but because I myself am going on spring break. So if we have an ed puzzle, I will probably do an ed puzzle just to review, and wrap up things, but it'll be brief for sure. But so for the online students, they do have that spring break. For my traditional on-ground students, our online students don't get a spring break. So that is unfortunately something that tends to line up every year, and some folks aren't aware of it. So just be aware. You can work ahead and work on that stuff if you are going out of town. You will need to get in and do some discussion. You can do your first discussion early, but you will need to go in and do some responses. But shouldn't be too time consuming if you are going out of town. And you can certainly work ahead as much as you're able to. So that's it for that. Let me flip over to the quiz. A few of our quiz questions for the week. A contract serves to provide one or more parties with a legal remedy to. So obviously a bunch of different answers here. I won't read them all to you, but the correct answer was to require the parties to perform its legal obligations pursuant to the terms of the contract. So that's the reason that we have a contract, and that's the reason why a written contract is favorable, is the best option. There are other types of contracts, oral contracts, express contracts, which are more like a like a handshake agreement. But a written contract is really the the best way, a formal written contract to detail out all of the obligations for both parties in the contract process. So that's an important element. If a contract is to be considered valid, an offer must be assumed, tacit, communicated, or inferred, and our correct answer is communicated. So you need to, if there's a situation, even if it's an oral contract, if there's a situation where the party making the offer is offering that to, making that offer to someone, you need to communicate it and communicate it clearly for that to be considered a valid contract. And that was it. People did pretty well in the quiz this week, so that wasn't an issue. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions about your paper for this week or how to build those that case brief, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you in the discussions. I look forward to seeing what your paper topics are. And if I don't get to, if for some reason we don't get an ed puzzle next week, I think we will. But if for some reason we don't, it's been a pleasure having you in class, and I look forward to seeing you in another class soon. Thanks.